In this video, I want to talk to you about a really great TV show called The Paper on NBC. It is a spin-off of the famous NBC show The Office. And I think it is a really great show about the news business. In the plot, the show chronicles, as a documentary, the triumphs and the travails of a Toledo-Ohio newspaper called the Toledo Truth-Teller as it struggles to stay alive and survive as a newspaper in that region of Ohio. It is a really funny show that has a lot to offer and is really smart in my opinion. The show is very realistic to day-to-day life with their employees and when it comes to the news business. The reporters are always kind of looking for the brass ring as a big story when it comes to the news business, which makes the show hilarious as a kind of a dark, dry comedy. In this video, I'm going to encourage you to watch the show and tell you why I think it is a really great show on NBC. So, here we go with my summary of The Paper. I'm a political activist and a former candidate for Michigan State office, so I'm quite familiar with how news works at the state and especially the local and the county level. I also lived in Massachusetts and Rhode Island due to law school, and I was involved in some things out there, so I'm also familiar with local media in other parts of the country. I actually worked on some things out there, such as the lead paint project, while I was in law school. Personally, I was a big fan of The Office. It was one of my favorite shows of all time, and I think it was one of the best shows about corporations that was ever made. I actually think The Paper may actually be a better show due to its realism. Time will tell, but I think it has a lot of potential to possibly be better than The Office over the long term. The Oscar Martinez character, played by Oscar Nunez in real life, was the bridge character between The Office and The Paper. In any spin-off, you have to have some sort of a bridge plot or a bridge character going into the new show. He's great on there, he's hilarious, and the whole show, I think, is really, really funny. I've been to Toledo quite a few times in my life, so the show has some sort of a meaning to me because of that. I'm familiar with the area. I'm familiar with some of its politics and economy and things like that, so I have a deeper interest in the show because of that. At this point, I think this show is as good as The Office, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Providence, Ed, or Superstore, which are mostly all former NBC programs. In particular, I really like the performances of Chelsea Free as Mar Pretty on the show, and the performance and acting of Domhnall Gleeson as Ned Sampson as the editor in The Paper. In the plot, he kind of controls a lot of the intrigue that goes on in The Office with The Paper. He doesn't own The Paper, but he kind of controls a lot of the wacky intrigue that goes on with this newsroom. It's going to return on NBC in September and on Peacock. I do believe it's going to be on most local NBC stations in the fall, and it will definitely be on Peacock. I hope it makes a long run because I think it is a really great show that has a lot of potential. Personally, it's one of the best shows I ever watched about the news business. Once again, thank you for your time, thank you for your consideration. Please make a note that my videos next week are going to be on why America needs social media, and I'm going to do a review of the movie Barbie, and why I agree with Michael Moore of why the show may be the best political dark comedy that was ever made as a movie in the history of American cinema. Barbie was a great film, and I'm going to tell you why next week. Thank you for your time. It's free to subscribe.